Hello, these are the three things that I do that I quit doing at night to lead better in the morning. This is coming off of the heels of yesterday's video where I talked about the three things that I do at night to lead better in the morning. So I think this is going to be a great addition. And my name is Tiffany, and on this channel, we are learning to lead ourselves well so we can serve others better. This is a faith-based channel where I talk about universal leadership concepts. So I believe anybody can learn anything on this channel. So whether you've been leading for 30 seconds or 30 years, or maybe you haven't started your leadership journey at all, maybe you are just someone who is leading themselves at this time. I think that there's something that you can learn. And so I'm excited that you're here and you're joining me on this journey. So we're going to jump right on in. So these are the three things that I stopped doing at night to lead better in the morning. And one of those things is I stopped working 2 hours before bedtime. I'll also say I stopped over preparing. So in my regular day job, 9 to 5, I am a training manager. So I am often preparing for up trainings. I lead an emerging leader cohort several times a year. So I'm doing a lot of training. And just outside of that, I do a lot of different trainings and presentations and all kinds of things all throughout the year. So I have the opportunity to work well into the night if I have to, or if I feel like I need to. And so what I have found that when I have stopped doing that, essentially, when I have stopped giving myself, or when I have stopped working 2 hours before bedtime, or I have stopped over preparing, not only am I refreshed in the morning because I have not, worked so long into the night where my brain really is just swirling with all the different things that I have just done, that it just proves to be just more beneficial because one, if I know the concepts, if I've done the presentation, if I'm familiar with the content, not that I don't need to spend time on it, but I can really be more strategic about how I choose to review the content. I can be more reflective about the content. I already know the content well, so then I can think more about the stories that I want to share, the different examples that I want to use versus just pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring over the different content. So I found that to be really beneficial to be mindful that I'm not working well into the night. And then once I push back from the computer, then I'm just going straight to bed. And then I'm not over preparing because then it just allows my brain to really digest everything that I've reviewed, and I feel ready to go. And I feel fresh at that point. And then also that leaves room for me to be able to engage with my nighttime routine, which brings me to my second point, which is stop the screen time 1 hour before bedtime. In yesterday's video, I talked about how I worked with a sleep coach, and she really helped me to identify and uncover some of my nighttime habits and routines. And really that helped me identify what I was doing in the daytime that impacted my nighttime routine. So doing working lunches, not getting up for breaks, and just kind of being pedal to the metal all day long had me at 150. So by the time I shut my laptop for the day, I was so gassed that I didn't have the energy to do anything else. But after discovering that, I knew what plans I needed to put in place to be able to take care of myself during the day. So then I had energy to do my nighttime routine. And with that, discovering that, hey, screen time, we're going to stop that an hour prior to bedtime. And so an hour, we're done. So instead of scrolling, and then falling asleep, I've replaced that with journaling or reading a book. And I can tell you that that hour that I'm spending reading will definitely have me ready to fall asleep by the time that hour is up. And there's just so many more benefits than just scrolling up it for that full amount of time. And this last point really goes in with this second point, which is falling asleep to the screen or TV. So, with that, scrolling until I fell asleep. I'm often falling asleep to a podcast, or if I fell asleep on the couch, I'm, Netflix or whatever it might be. I've got all this different stuff happening in the background. So then my mind is still trying to process what's going on the TV or on the screen. So I used to be one of those people who watched a lot of true crime. So it was 24/7, 24/7. I mean, I was a Dateline round the clock. Okay. Like, I think it's is it Hulu that has Dateline 24/7? I mean, that was, I mean, like just round the clock. And so I was that person, but I had to realize that it was impacting my ability to be able to get a restful sleep. Because you're hearing the crash, boom, bang, or whatever. So then you're being jolted awake, and then that it can be very disruptive. And so you're not getting the quality of sleep that you need. And then when you wake up, you're not feeling rested, you're feeling tired and sluggish. And then guess what you're doing? You're rolling over, you're hitting start on the coffee pot, and then you're in the vicious cycle all over again because now you've drank three quarters of a pot of coffee before you've even logged in for the day. And then here we go. We're off to the races. And so I had to stop doing that. But what I noticed was, which is kind of funny, that even though I was reading before bed and allowing my brain to come to rest, that once I fell asleep, turned all my lights off, ready for bed, tucked in, ready to go, that I'd close my eyes, but then my mind is still kind of going. So I'm still not really resting because I am one of those people who do need some noise to fall asleep. So then I was like, found myself kind of inching back into the podcast at night, thinking it would be helpful. It wasn't. Same deal. So then, guess what I did? Just like if your mom or your parent or your dad or you or auntie, uncle, whatever you might be, if you've watched kids, you've seen kids, you've seen a kid's nursery, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The white noise. I had to get the white noise going on in the background. So, like the raindrops and the ocean breeze music going to help me drift to sleep. And that has been so nice just because I think what I've been listening to is like, and I guess there's different kinds. I'm not an expert. Okay. I'm not an expert. I just know that I think I've been listening to like pink noise and like brown noise. Don't know the differences really between them or what the benefits are and what the differences are, but I know that that's what I've been listening to, and that's been really helpful, just getting me to a nice deep sleep very quickly once I've put the book away and I'm ready to go to sleep. Put on the white noise and boom, I'm sleep, and I don't have to worry about having all the my brain's not drifting, doing all the things, looking for some noise to kind of latch on to kind of take it to its, dream wonderland or whatever. So, um, those are the three things that I stopped doing at night to lead better in the morning. And so, again, guys, this is just what I'm doing. You're your own person, and I'm not one that's big on resolutions. So I think we should always be reflective and auditing our habits and what's working, what's not working, what can we do to add or take away. I really think this is a year for simplicity, especially us who are leading people. I don't think we need to be doing a lot. I think we really need to get back down to the basics when it comes down to our routines and keep things where we're able just to be stay on track, do things that we're able to stay consistent, and we will see the results, the fruits of our labor. And I can honestly say, just implementing these few things have made a huge impact in how I'm able to show up, cognition, whatever, how I'm thinking, how I'm processing things in the daytime. I'm just my disposition, my countenance, I just feel more even keel and just, yeah, like I don't feel as high strung, all of those good things. So I highly recommend that if you have not already looked at yesterday's video, go take a look. And again, thanks for being here, guys. We will talk very soon. Bye bye.